So you've heard that a lot of photographers have been having success with Facebook ads to get all booked up for the year, and you wanted to try it yourself, right? But how does it even work? Could it actually help you to get booked? Stick around. As we get into it, let's be clear as to what the goal is. Is it to learn about Facebook ads? No, it's not. It's to get booked as a photographer, and we're going to use Facebook ads to generate those leads who you can then turn into your customers. But what makes a client actually book you? We're going to look at two scenarios here. The first one is when you're already a well-known photographer, you're famous, and the clients that want to book you, money's not a problem for them, and they're booking you to be associated with your brand. Let's say Jonathan Silochan was a famous photographer. Is he? Let's say somebody was booking Jonathan in this scenario. It doesn't matter too much the price that he charges, because at this point in his career, he's already a high-ticket photographer, and that client wants to say that Jonathan did their wedding. Obviously, Jonathan should be a good photographer at this point and have quality work. But that is not the scenario we're looking at here today, because if you're already a famous photographer, you might not be looking at this video. But if you are one, continue looking. The second scenario is what we'll be focusing on a little bit more in this video, where I think you might be. Not a whole lot of people know who you are as yet, and you have to do some convincing to get them to hire you. You have to spend some time focusing on getting them to know who you are, why you would be the right person for the job, and to even expand on that, for them to see you more as the right fit for them. But how is this all possible? I understand it's a tough situation to be in, and how do you actually compete when there are so much photographers out there already? My experience is that there are a couple things that you could do to significantly help the process from going almost unknown to getting hired. This simple method is what I use to get all booked up in the early stages of my photography journey, as well as a lot of other photographers that I worked with. They implemented this method and they saw a lot of success. I know I said that there's a couple of things that you could do, but I actually meant 3 things. I guess that's a few. Okay, so the first thing is your portfolio. Wait, I know what you're thinking. If you had a portfolio, if you had a good one, you might even be looking at this video. Please keep looking. Your portfolio, of course, right? That is the first thing that somebody would see. And what they'll be looking at first is the quality. You want to make sure that you have good quality work, even if it's just 1 or 2 things up there. Even if it's just a few pictures, it has to be good quality. If you're not good, then go get better. Get better at shooting and post-production. Next thing is variety. What do I mean by when I say variety? Think about somebody who wants to book you as their photographer for a wedding. What if they go on your portfolio and having a look, and what they see is some really nice pictures of this couple holding hands and looking at each other, and they really like that picture, but then they scroll and they see the next couple and they're holding hands and looking at each other in their eyes, and then they continue scrolling and they see a next couple holding hands and looking at each other. I don't think they're going to be hiring you just to come in for that one picture, right? You want to make sure that you have several of the key shots in your portfolio. If you want to learn more about how you can go ahead creating that initial portfolio when you didn't really have much clients before, you can click this video here where I speak into a little bit more detail as to how you can go about choosing the pictures and recreating them. You see, when you have that level of quality as well as the variety of the images, you're giving the potential client a lot more confidence in that decision, knowing that you'd be able to handle the day well and that you know what you're doing. The next thing is the meeting. Here's where you could start breaking down the barrier and build some rapport and trust. I see some photographers out there who are fairly early in the industry and trying to book clients without having to meet them. And I don't see that as something really beneficial, because there's so much things you can learn from that one-on-one meeting or one-on-two meeting, where you really get to build that relationship. You get to understand more what they like, and even more important, what they don't like. That interaction of having to meet a prospect and convert them from an interested party to becoming your client, and you're missing out if you don't have a focus on that particular part of the process. Next up, to help this process, is for them to experience you as a photographer. You see, you want them to get more comfortable with you as their photographer for the big day. And how you can achieve that is by getting them into a simpler type of shoot, something that they don't have to think too much about. You want to get them into a little bit easier type of shoot, something that's not too much of a hard decision to make. Say you do an engagement shoot, a couple shoot with them. They now become more familiar with you. They know the kind of work that you do, the experience that you provide. And to build on that, they would then be an existing client, which would then make it easier to transition from a simple photo shoot to something that is a little bit more elaborate and something that costs more money. You also get the opportunity here to build more trust. You see, if the experience was good, they were really pleased with everything that you had to offer, then even more trust is earned. But how do we actually get them to do all of those things, or even one? So essentially, somebody is more likely to book you if they went through all of these stages, from seeing your portfolio, seeing what you have to offer, meeting with you, and then experiencing you as a photographer. Now, if you thought this video was helpful, I want you to type yes in the comments, and that will let me know to make more videos along these lines. Or if you want more details, let me know that as well. I'll see you in the next video.